What's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing okay. Hope everybody's healthy. Haven't done a video in a while, but today we're going to start the series on the Ford Tri-Power carburetor rebuild. So I decided to do a couple videos because I feel like there's not that many videos on rebuilding these, and there's certainly a lot of parts to change, a lot of things to look for. I'm not a carburetor rebuild expert. This is actually going to be my first time rebuilding a carb, but I figured a 2-barrel would be a good place to start. So I just want to do this series, so if any problems that I have, we can address those, and then, you know, kind of help you guys out, give you tips. Check that out. Yeah, it's gonna need a lot of cleaning for sure. Here's the third one. Kind of already started to disassemble this one, but I'm gonna start with just rebuilding one. That way I still have another one to refer to. So we're gonna be using the ChemDip. I've heard good things about this. Basically, you just get your carb parts and you dip them in a little basket that's in here, and then you leave it there for a couple hours, and yeah, clean the gunk off. So that's today's video. All right, guys, so this is one of the carburetors that I started to take apart, and the first thing we're gonna do is put some PB Blaster on these screws. I try to take them off, but they're pretty frozen, and I don't really want to strip the flathead off there. So we're gonna try some of this PB Blaster stuff and see if that works. That way we can take the base off and kind of inspect it a little further. But check this out. I took the fuel bolt out, and it's not really in that bad a shape. Let me get a light. Check that out. It's not that bad in there. We're gonna check the float, see if there's any pinholes there, but it's in pretty good condition considering the way the outside looks. So I'm really thinking this will... This has been sitting for a while. We'll need a very good cleaning, but finally the base is off, and this stuff is actually pretty good, you guys. I was having trouble with that one screw right here, and I was getting ready to you know, get the blowtorch out, get some heat on there, but I just decided to put it on the bench vise and you know, hold this thing down and put a vice grip on the flathead here, and that seemed to work out pretty good. The blades here, I read that to take these off, you have to unstake them from the back. That way you don't mess them up. I also want to let you guys know about a online PDF sort of book that I bought from HP Trends. It's called 3 Deuces, and there's a lot of very useful information. I'll put up a picture of the cover here. But basically, I believe it was like 20 bucks. You download it right away, and it just talks about everything there is about tri-power. One thing that the kind of manual talks about is to measure the surface here and make sure everything is squared. If it's not square, it's gonna cause trouble, cause problems. So we'll have to get that machined and get it flat. Another thing is to get the base flat as well. But what I found out about this carburetor is for these blades, I mean, is to kind of take them off from here, kind of unstake them, so that way when you take them off, you won't damage the flathead heads here. So that's one thing that I'm gonna do, and I learned that from the book. I didn't really know that, so it's kind of helpful to know that. Of course, you don't want to mess these parts up. And guys, so this is the main body. I just took it out of the ChemDip. I've had it in there for about like 3.5 hours, and looks like it did work a bit. You can see some of the dirt is still there, some of that grime. I think what the ChemDip does is it loosens up that old oil and dirt in there. So you still have to brush it, of course, and then clean it out with water. So I'm just gonna do that really quick and show you guys the end result and see, you know, how effective this ChemDip is. So let's do it. All right, guys, here is the carburetor all cleaned up, and the Berryman is actually a pretty good product. Check that out. Came out pretty clean. I think it all comes down to how well you brush, because there's still some spots here that I couldn't really get to. But you know, if I get a little bit of smaller brushes, I'll be able to clean it up really good. But pretty good product. Check that out. I've heard of other stuff that people use, the Simple Green, the Purple Power, I believe it's called, some ultrasonic cleaners, but you know, I've heard some bad stories of how that stuff oxidizes your carb and it turns black. So I really wanted a more safer option and went with the ChemDip, which came out pretty good. I'm not sure how the Vapor Blast will compare to this. Maybe I'll try it, but I think that the Berryman will actually be enough. You know, I might dip this one more time and it'll just be spotless probably. So pretty good on ChemDip. Overall, pretty good. I didn't put this part in because I still want to take it apart, but pretty good on the ChemDip. Alright guys, I'm gonna end the video here. A big thumbs up to ChemDip. I think it did a great job on cleaning this carburetor, and I'm gonna probably dip it one more time and brush the insides again just to get it a bit more cleaner. But I'm impressed with the product. At first I wasn't too sure about it when it came out of the can here. It was still dirty looking. I guess I was expecting it to come out brand new like the intake that I got vapor blasted, but it did a pretty good job. And as I said, this is going to be a small series on the Ford Tri-Power rebuild. I don't know how many videos I'm going to do because there's a lot of parts that need to be rebuilt in order for all this to work. But if you guys like the content, you guys like the videos, go ahead and subscribe and follow the Galaxy build. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you guys want to see, any suggestions. Maybe you guys have had this set up before and have some tips. But I do these videos because, you know, maybe it'll help someone someday. So there you go. Thanks guys.